Have you ever noticed this weird thing about anxiety? You can logically know everything is fine. You tell yourself that there's nothing to worry about, but you still feel anxious. Your chest tightens, your palms start sweating, and your mind keeps trying to solve a problem that doesn't actually exist. There's actually a reason for this, and understanding it completely changed how I deal with my anxiety. Part 1, logic versus nervous system. One of the biggest misunderstandings about anxiety is thinking that logic should solve it. If you think about the problem enough, if you analyze it through, if you reason through it, the anxiety should go away, right? But anxiety doesn't actually live in the logical part of your brain. It actually lives in your nervous system. Your brain can understand that something is safe, while your body is still reacting the same way when the threat is still present. It's kind of like watching a horror movie. You know that you're safe in your room, you know the monster isn't real, but your heart still races, right? And you still get scared. Part 2, why overthinking makes it worse. I got a comment on my previous video about why we still feel anxiety when we know everything is fine. You begin to doubt yourself on things even that you know are true. Overthinking is usually the attempt of thinking your way out of anxiety. Your brain says, let me analyze this a bit more. Let's just run through the scenario one more time. Let me just find the perfect explanation for this. Then maybe the anxiety will finally disappear. But what actually happens is the opposite. It makes you more anxious, and it adds unnecessary pressure on ourselves to feel okay. Every time you revisit the thought, you're pretty much telling your brain, this is important, and we still need to think about it. So the brain keeps scanning for threats. That's why you're constantly in a state of anxiety. Part 3, the real shift. It's not about trying to eliminate the anxious feeling. It's about understanding that a feeling can still exist without meaning anything is wrong. Just because anxiety shows up doesn't mean that the situation that you're in is dangerous. The moment things started changing for me was when I stopped trying to argue with the feeling. Instead, I just let it exist. Our anxious response works in a very simple way. It can't distinguish the difference between something that is physically actually dangerous for you and something that feels psychologically uncomfortable. To your nervous system, uncertainty is uncertainty, and it's just trying to protect you. For example, if you're going on a first date, you are speaking in front of people or doing something that makes you feel tense, your body can react the same way as if you were in a real physical threatening situation. Your heart rate increases, your mind becomes alert, and your body prepares for danger. But the situation that you're in isn't actually dangerous. And this is where understanding anxiety becomes important. Once you realize that your body is simply reacting to uncertainty, you can try to stop fighting it and let it go and actually accept it for what it is and feel it. As you do that over time, your body will realize, wait a minute, this situation isn't really dangerous for me. And once you start doing this, your anxious response will begin to fade. Here's what I've done to help me overcome my anxiousness when there's nothing inherently wrong. Most of the time when anxiety shows up, we are trying to figure out how to make it go away by fixing a problem. But instead of doing this, I just simply noticed it. I told myself, okay, in this current situation, I am feeling anxious, nothing more. The second step is to name it for what it is. There is no danger. There's no problem that needs to be fixed. Your body is just creating a nervous system response for uncertainty. And the most crucial thing to do is continue anyway. Fear is usually a lot bigger than the actual thing that's causing the fear. So the way that we can teach ourselves to overcome this anxious feeling is to do the task that's making you anxious anyways. For example, on the way to the first date or the moments before you step on stage to make a speech. Continue anyway. Just acknowledge that you're anxious and know that it will disappear once you start to begin the activity. If you keep doing this practice, your anxious response will fade. You notice that you feel less anxious. The duration of the anxiety and the intensity of the anxiety reduces. The strange thing about anxiety is the more we try to fight it, The more we try to control it, the stronger of a hold it has over us. But the moment we stop fighting the feeling, it slowly loses its power. Peace doesn't come from figuring everything out. Peace comes from letting the feeling pass without the need to solve it. And as always, thanks for watching.